Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Today in the shop, like pretty much all my videos are, today I am doing something that is on my bucket list as far as through the holidays, and that is to install a helical head in my DW735 planer. This one is a little easier to get. That's why I went with it. So this is not a bird or a Helical head, but it's super similar. So here's the box that it came in. It came very, very, very fast. Like, I order it one day, I think it came the next day later. I think so. Not sure exactly where it came from. I'm in Canada, so I went on the Canadian side of stuff because getting stuff from the States sometimes can be a little pain in the butt. So, and the ShareTech was, I think it was the Helical was $50 more than the ShareTech. So I'm going to show you what's in the box, and I'm going to show you how to put it in to the machine. This machine was bought by me. There's nobody sponsoring this channel, like always. So this was my money. This was my money for the helical head, and I'm going to put it head to head against that one. So the one behind me is a Crafx. I believe it's 509N, 502N. I know it's a 13-inch lunchbox, so it looks like a 734 Dewalt planer, but it has a helical head in it, and I've been running it for almost a year and I've had no problems with it. So we're gonna do a head-to-head because there are differences between this one with the helical head and that one with the helical head. So I want to see what the finishes and the decimals and all that stuff. So what you have in the box, you have a sticker. I don't have places to put stickers, so stickers are kind of useless for me. You get a Torx handle, T-handle, for changing the bits, and you get a whole bunch of bits. So in here you have some of the screws, and these are some of the carbide heads, and these are four-sided. So there's one of the differences. These are four-sided cutter. That one, only two sides. And then it gives you more of the same stuff. So this head has no cutters on it, so you don't have to take the cutters off to install it. That's awesome. Pain in the butt to put them back in, but we'll get there. It comes with a stick with instructions, because there are no physical instructions other than a stick. And then it's relatively decently packed. Styrofoam, most styrofoam. And then this is the head, wrapped up, and it's got all the goop on it. And I am surprised on how much this actually weighs. This weighs decent for what it is. So I'm gonna do a little weight thing too when I get the other head out. I wanna see what this weighs opposed to that one. Interesting. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to take it apart. I've never done it, and so this is gonna be a little new for me also, but yeah, have some fun, take stuff apart, put stuff back together, and pray that it runs. Let's get started. So to start things off, we take the top off, and lucky it comes with its own T25 screwdriver, or T-driver, whatever. So I'm going to take these four out, take the top off, next thing we take off is these 5 little red things. You can see, take that off. I'll take the dust chute off. Now we got to take the blade off. All the blades, all 3 blades have to come off. So take all those nuts off. Little time. Then on the back, you have these 2 magnets. You use that to get the plate off. And then the blades off. You rinse and you repeat. Spin the head and you go to the next one. I'm not going to bore you with that, so just do that. The last thing to do top side, like once you get all your blades off, is to take this clip off. This is the clip that enables this to spin. Like right now, this will go only so far and then it'll stop. So you need to take this off, otherwise the head won't come out. Forewarned, there is a spring in there, so be careful. And all it is just 2 Phillips screws. And hopefully it's not going to be an issue. Phillips screw, washer. Make sure you save everything. And there's your little spring right there. So just try to keep that intact. Now we go bottom side. Alright, for this next bit, the wheel has to come off. Get that off right away. And then we got to take the gearbox off. 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4. Same. And this should just pop off like that. And then you have this gear set. So this has to come off with a Phillips. There's a little spring. You need to take the spring. I would just unhook it from here and then take the arm off, and then 2 bolts. Take this off, and then there's a nut. I got to figure out which socket it is. You take that off. You undo the belt. I'll show you. So first thing, let's take this arm off. You show your little spring. Alright, this Dewalt wrench is not T25, it's a T30. These are T25s, which so happens to be this T-wrench. So we just undo these, and we try to get it off just like that, and put it aside. Okay, so I found out the sockets. This is 24 mil. I'm going to put it on a ratchet. You can put it on an impact. It's probably preferred to take the belt off, but I'm going to try doing it without the belt, and hopefully it doesn't happen. I'm also putting a piece of wood in the head itself, so to stop it from spinning, so I can actually get, and it's hardly even on. It literally took nothing to break this thing. Now we gotta try to pull this. Oh, there we go. Pull this off. Okay, comes off, no problem. Comes off with a belt, no problem. Now there's a key in here. I think it fell out. Yeah, it did. Don't forget about this little key. You need it. It helps index the thing. Okay, what I failed to realize, I'm doing this on take number 3, is that there is a snap ring holding this gear in, or this bearing in. So we need, there we go. And she's about this big. That needs to come out before she, now we're on this side, same thing, 4 bolts, or 4 screws. Actually no, 3 screws, pardon me. I think it's all 3. Put that aside. And it's going to be the same thing as this. I'm going to take this retaining ring, or this spring off, take this off. That'll take this off, then we take the gear off. And then there's 3, well, that's weird. Why is that a 3 of Allen key? That comes off. Do we need this off? Yes. Phillips. There's a washer behind it. And, oh, these are snap rings. Okay, so you need snap ring pliers for this. Oh! And then spread, whoop, comes off. Just like that. Whoop, comes off. Okay, snap rings are off. Now this is going to be the same thing, probably just pull off. And put it down. Okay, so this one has this on the back side. This one's got nothing. And that. Okay. Now, next thing I think is these 3, but I think these come off too. Oh no, okay, that's right. Okay, so these 3 come off, and then this transmission, this is like the transmission. It goes you from one, so you take these 3 off, it's an Allen key. You pull it out, but not all the way. So I'll get to that point. 5mm Allen key. Should be pretty easy to. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Now this should. Oh yeah. And you pull this transmission out. It is a bar right here, and it's got a bushing, and then the bar sits there. So when I take this out, it'll come out of the bar like that, and then you can just sit it like that. So when you put it back in, you got to make sure that bushing and this bar go in here, and then you're good to go. Okay, so that snap ring is now out. The other snap ring is now out. There should be nothing in the way now. Maybe I should have went through the instructions. So now we use our block and our hammer, and we tap. And it's moving. And we're out. So now we gently try to get this one out. And there we go. There's the other cutter head. This has to come off. So however we're going to do that, we shall figure it out. But the other thing is, I weighed the other one, so let's weigh this one, see how much this weighs. Okay, so it's in. This one was 3.8 pounds. The other head, which is right here, is 5 pounds. So this might be a little bit more stressing on the motor, and it might take a little bit longer to spin down. Okay, you get to this point where you need to take this gear off. If you didn't munch this, you can get a socket on it, 6mm. So you get a little 6mm socket, and you can whoop, spin it right off. So that's an easy one there. That'll come off. And then we'll put it back on the other one. Alright, now that we have the gear back on, and that was quite easy, everything is ready. There's no carbites on this, so we put it in like that. Don't put the carbites in because it won't fit. This is the same size as the OEM unit, and that's what I wanted. So all we do is just fit it back through. Oh, too far. Yeah, there is a spot, a sweet spot. Find the grooves. Okay. So when you hit this, make sure that you can hit or you can get both snap rings back in. Sweet. Spins really easy. This is exciting. So, it's the next day and I went out and purchased a pair of proper snap rings. These are not the proper ones. Fully adjustable, they're good for little stuff. I wouldn't say they're that good. But when you go and get something like this, which is a decent tool, and it compresses the ring without flipping, it makes your life so much easier. Get the proper snap ring pliers, because it'll make this so much easier. See? Done. They're now done. Alright. So now we have snap ring in place, we can begin assembly process. Now you saw at the beginning it had a bunch of goop on it. Just put a little bit of goop back. And this is just bearing grease. Doesn't have to be anything. Just something for lubrication, so we don't have any issues. And that's pretty much all you need. So there's that. Then we put the transmission back, and the transmission goes back in that slot. Make sure everything engages and then pushes and back down. So after a little bit of trial and error, the easiest way to put this back together is to put this arm on first, because there's a little washer that sits in behind it. Same with this, there's a washer that sits on this gear, so that way it doesn't rub out the brass bushing. The gearbox is loose, so you put this on but not the spring. Then you can put this on, and this will go on, okay, usually fairly, there we go, it's like that, fairly good. And then you can put the spring on. And I would do that with a needle nose. And there. Then all you have to do is tighten this back up, put your snap rings, and put your cover on. So let's... And you can see the tension on it now. So that's perfect. Now we have these little snap rings. So snap rings are on. Everything looks good. Now it's the point of putting the cover back on. Putting the 3 screws, and these are, I think seriously? Yeah, these are the T30s. Okay, now we flipped sides. Now it's the task of putting this side together, and we have a snap ring. So that goes in first, like so. Make sure it's seated like that. Okay, let's try this again. Snap ring, washer, put the washer in. Make sure your key's up straight so you can fit it in the slot on top. Then you have your pulley, and then your nut. And then really, you don't really need a lot on this. taking it off didn't take much. Though I would still use a piece of wood. Hold on. So getting the belt back on, I just used this little thing, and you just kind of start it, and then you go all the way around with this still in it, goes all the way around with a pulley, and it'll engage it back on. And then all I did was just, as I just kind of moved it, and it just moved over. Little pain in the butt, but it works. So next thing is going to be putting our chains back on, and they go on fairly easy. And we have these suckers, which are these, I believe. Yes. So these go on just like this. Alright, so this goes with this, goes in its slot. And okay. This gets connected with that. Oh, that's nice. Let me do that first. Yeah, connect your spring first. Just makes it a little easier. Okay. Now we put cover back on, and it's just reassembled. Not going to show you this. Oh, wheel too. So you remember this little thing that we took out earlier? Well, you don't need it, because with this, the shaft is bigger. And all this is it sat in the shaft, and when it was engaged, it would lock the head, so you could change blades. Don't need that because the shaft is bigger. So this goes bye-bye. Now, next step, this is the pain in the butt step, is to put all these little carbites in there. Now, if you don't see it, I'm hoping you do, you see a little O or a little dot? That represents the corner that you're gonna put every single one in the same orientation. If you don't, when you go to flip your carbites, you won't know which ones you did, because the orientation is gonna be weird. So however you start one, put them all in there. And there's 40 of these. So just pay attention, make sure they seat good, and have patience, I guess. So I'm gonna do this off camera because that's just totally boring, because all it is just a carbide and this, and it seats in. I'll show you the finished product. So if you did everything right, it should look like this. Be careful if you do this without gloves or whatnot. Each of these carbides sit in their own little pockets. So if the screw is sitting up a little bit, then it's not sitting the way it's supposed to, and back it off and put it back down. The only thing that's left is to put the dust cover and then the big cover on, and then she's done. So let's do that really quick. So that install was not super terrible. If I would have did this all in one shot and had all the correct tools, because snap ring pliers, pretty important. They also gave me 5 new carbides. 5 new carbides, 5 new screws in case you lose some, in case some are damaged. Mine were all fine, so I will keep this for a later date. And that's gonna be pretty much it for this. If you like it, if you lasted to the end of the video, kudos to you. You wanted to learn how to do this, and it's not as hard as and intimidating as you think. So I'm hoping everyone learned something. There's a couple little things that other videos I've seen didn't depict, and I'm hoping that mine will kind of somewhat distinguish the difference. Yeah, so now I have to make another sled for this one, just like I did on that one. That video I can put right here. Didn't really get a lot of views. After this, I will put them head to head. I will definitely put them head to head. I'm excited. There are differences, but I will depict those differences in the next video of the differences between this machine and the one that's behind me. That one. It's been a good machine. I'm hoping this will be a better machine, but we'll see. Yeah, so everyone, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on the bell, all that fun jazz. I hope you learned something. I'm happy that this is done, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.